Hi, I'm Marshall Brain and welcome to the 5th time capsule video. As you'll recall from part 1, I'm creating this video series for my great-great-great-grandchildren so they can see what life was like back in 2010. Today I'm going to talk about newspapers. This is what we would call the Sunday paper. It's a newspaper. These are incredibly common in 2010. You can get one delivered to your house every morning, or you can pick one up at any local convenience stores. Newspapers have a rich history in the United States going back to the Revolutionary War, and this is the modern incarnation of that. I thought it'd be interesting to look at a newspaper, first because this is how people have gotten their news for more than a century, and second because it'll show you a little bit about what's important to people in 2010. You can see that this is the News&Observer. This is the Raleigh, North Carolina city newspaper, and it's for January 3rd, 2010. Let's look at the physical dimensions of this thing. It's about a foot wide, a foot tall. Once it unfolds, it'll be 2 feet by 2 feet. A foot is about 30 centimeters. And it weighs about 850 grams, nearly 2 pounds. This is what you would call the front page. These large pieces of text here are called the headlines. You can see that this is what we would call a slow news day. There's not any big national or world story on the front page. Last week, for example, there was a terrorist who tried to blow up a plane midair and was thwarted, and that was the big headline. But this is also a slow news day because the newspaper's staff has been off for Christmas and New Year's celebrations. As we look inside, you can see that this thing is full of what we would call sales circulars or sales flyers. Sears and other coupons. This is more coupons. This is more coupons. Here's a flyer for CVS Pharmacy. It's an actual newspaper. This is the TV guide, or the thing that'll tell you what's on television for the next week. You've got something from Rite Aid, more coupons. These are called the Sunday comics. Well, you can see that the comics have been kind of damaged here, and this is not common, but it's also not uncommon for something to go wrong with the printing press and for there to be not quite what you would hope for in the newspaper. I did some research, and here are 10 of the top news stories from 2009. This gives you a flavor for what you would find in a newspaper, what people are talking about and hearing in the news right now. Number 1 is the recession. House prices fell a lot, the stock market fell a lot, there's a lot of unemployment right now. 2 is healthcare reform. 3 is the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. 4 is climate change. And you actually probably know how this turned out, but there's a huge debate over what to do with carbon dioxide emissions right now. 5 is President Obama's inauguration from last January. The Iranian elections, because there was so much turmoil around those. Michael Jackson was an incredibly popular entertainer who died in 2009. Got huge coverage. Swine flu, because it was a worldwide epidemic. Federal deficit, because it's climbed so much recently. There's a lot of concern about the impact of that. And then gay marriage is just a basic civil rights issue that hasn't been resolved yet. So on today's front page, and like I said, today is a slow news day, we find an article about the state lottery system, an article about the state criminal record system, an article about scientific breakthroughs involving platelets, and then this article about Yemen. This is leftover from the terrorist attack I was talking about last week. The terrorists came out of Yemen. Newspapers have a lot of ads in them. So you can see one here for Hudson Belk. Here's a clothing store. Here's a jewelry store. This piece up here is about television programs that'll be on tonight. Something about the Fed and foreclosures. That's part of the recession we're having right now. The weather, a big chill settles in over region. It's really cold right now. Here's an ad for Walmart. Here's an ad for mattresses. This story is about how many people in the United States are living off of food stamps right now. This is another side effect of the economy. Research shows that half of the children in the United States will be fed by food stamps at some point while they're growing up. This next section here is called the editorial section. It has opinions. People are writing about different concerns right now. There are ads for cell phone companies, ads for security companies, ads for a big appliance store. Here they're talking about the school system. This is what would be called an editorial cartoon. This cartoon is talking about the effects humans are having on forests and the environment. And then different people have written opinion columns. The next section here is local news. The triangle is the area that Raleigh is located in, and the state of North Carolina. Apparently what they have put together here is a set of photographs from the last year, from 2009. So we had a giant drought, and this is showing a lake that's completely dried out. This is about the war, different legislators. The governor, former governor, is under investigation, so that was a big news story. Sports are always big. This is called the obituary page. When people die, they often will have a little write-up and a picture in the newspaper just to let you know what they accomplished in their life and to let you know about the funeral arrangements. Arts and living. What we're talking about here is a new museum or a new part of the art museum that's going to open up soon in Raleigh. Sports is a big deal. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, auto racing, all covered in the newspaper. Let's look through a few of these flyers. Walmart is a huge company. It's the largest employer in the United States. They sell stuff. I mean, just about anything. So you can see they're advertising toilet paper and dishwasher detergent and liquid soap and shampoo and different over-the-counter medicines for things like colds. These are $5 items. So if you want a bottle of shampoo or conditioner, you can get it for $5. This is called fingernail polish. Women put it on their fingernails. Lipstick. Women put it on their lips. Lotions. Walmart will sell you almost anything. Oranges, 5 for $2. Coffee. Nearly every adult drinks coffee in 2010 because of the caffeine it contains. About 2 pounds for $6. Exercise equipment like this elliptical machine or this treadmill. Television screens. Blu-ray players. Blu-ray is hoping to replace DVDs for movies. Laptop computers ranging in price from $400 to $600. Desktop computers at $500. Printers, we still print lots of stuff on paper in 2010. Closet organizers and office supplies. Like I said, Walmart sells almost anything. Target is the main competitor to Walmart right now. So they're advertising different products on the front page here. This is laundry detergent to wash your clothes with. This is a breakfast cereal called Special K. Pepsi is a popular soft drink. Toilet paper. Target, like Walmart, sells just about everything, including dresses and jeans for $20. Petco is a local pet store. Pets are really common in the United States in 2010. Maybe a third of households have a dog or a cat. Might be 60 million dogs living in the United States. It's fairly expensive to own a pet. We have Trixie, a dog, and we tracked every cent we spent on her in the first year of ownership. She cost about $1,600 or roughly $5 a day. not as common, but people also have pet birds, pet ferrets, pet hamsters, pet ball pythons for $70. Fish tanks are really common. You buy a fish tank that might hold 20 or 50 gallons, and then you put different kinds of fish in it to watch them. So there you have it, a typical Sunday paper in 2010. You've seen the news, the ads, and the flyers. You can have a newspaper like this delivered to your door every morning for a subscription price of $195 per year. When we get done with our newspapers, we either throw them away or we put them in the recycle bin. Stay tuned for part 6 in the video time capsule series.